From the silent grave of Neanderthals Valley, the cliff of Gibraltar, Ice Age Europe revealed a story far more human than we were taught. They weren't mindless cavemen, they were master hunters, skilled craftsmen, and caregivers who survived blizzards, predators, and a world of mammoths. They buried their dead with care, wore symbolic jewelries, and protected the injured, which is a proof of compassion in a brutal age. And they never truly vanish. If you have non-African ancestry, about 2% of your DNA is Neanderthals. They did not just disappear, they become part of us. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is History Under the Cap, where we bring Paleolithic Road to life. Tonight, we uncover the ancient Stone Age from Siberia to India. So now, without further ado, let's get started. Imagine a lone figure crouched inside a cave in Siberia around 200,000 years ago, and outside the wind howls at minus 50 degrees. Cold enough to freeze exposed skin in minutes. And inside a fire flickers weakly as she groans on a roasted piece of mammoth bone. Not for pleasure, but for survival. She has no idea that inside her body is a genetic code that will one day help millions of people breathe easily on the highest mountain on the earth. That cave is Denisovans cave in Altai mountain. And that woman does not belong to any human species you learned about in school. She was Denisovan, a ghost human. Now imagine that scene not as an isolated moment, but as one thread in a vast story stretching from frozen Siberia, the monsoon valley of India. Because Asia wasn't the edge of human world. It was one of the greatest laboratory of human survival ever created. Welcome to Asian Stone Age, a 2.5 million years old age of fire, ice, migration and resilience. To understand this story, we have to rewind far beyond civilization, beyond agriculture, even beyond modern humans. Around 2.5 million years ago, early humans began living in Africa. Among them was Homo erectus, who were tall, strong, tireless walkers who were the first human to truly explore the planet. Imagine them as a prehistoric marathoners. They did not sprint across continents. They walked generation after generation, following animals, rivers, and seasons. Eventually, they entered Asia, a land unlike anything they had ever known. In the north, endless frozen tundra. In the south, desert jungle buzzing with insects and predators. And in between, deserts, mountains, grassland, and river valleys. And they adapted to all of this. Their first tools were simple choppers. Crude stone used to break bones for marrow, much like cracking nuts with a hammer. And over time, these evolved into hand axes, beautifully shaped teardrop tools that took hours to make. Imagine carving a knife out of rock using another rock. No metal, no machines, no mistake allowed. And in the meantime, the planet itself was changing. Ice Age repeatedly locked water into glaciers, dropping sea level to over 100 meters. Land that is now underwater became vast bridge connecting regions. You could walk from Siberia towards North America. You could travel from India to Indonesia without crossing deep sea. Asia became a giant crossroad of human movements. And by around 300,000 years ago, the region was home to multiple Homo sapiens at once. Not just our ancestors. Neanderthals lived in Central Asia. Denisovans dominated Siberia. Homo erectus persisted in many regions. and eventually modern human arrived. Think of it less like a single family tree and more like a tangled forest of human relatives. Our story began in the harshest environment human had ever entered, the region of Arctic Siberia. Denisovan cave was not just a cave, it's a time capsule layered with hundreds of thousands of years of human occupation. In 2010, scientists found a tiny pinky bone there from a young girl. DNA analysis revealed something shocking, that she was neither Neanderthals nor modern human, but a completely different group, which is Denisovans. Later discoveries showed they weren't primitive cave dwellers. They made bone needles, meaning they stitched tailored clothing. They crafted jewelry from mammoth ivory. Some even produced polished stone bracelets. Now imagine trying to survive in Siberian winter without stitched clothing. You would not last a day. Their technology wasn't primitive. It was life-saving innovations. Further north, at a site called Yana RHS near the Arctic coast, humans lived at 71 degree north latitude over 30,000 years ago, twice as far north as scientists once thought possible. They hunted mammoths and reindeer across frozen plains, tracking herd the way modern nomads hunted trackers caribous today. Every successful hunt means survival. Every failure means starvation. In China, the story even goes deeper into the past. At Zakodian near Beijing, fossil of Peking man Homo erectus shows human living in cave hundreds of thousands years ago, possibly controlling fire. Further discoveries suggest human occupied part of China nearly 2 million years ago, proving Asia was not merely settled late, it was center of early human expansion. But around 40,000 years ago, modern humans arrived and interceded with existing population. Genetic evidence shows these encounters were not always hostile. They interbreeded. This is why many people today carry traces of Denisovan DNA. Crossing the Himalayas into the subcontinent feels like entering into another world entirely. Instead of ice, tundra, there are monsoon, rivers, forests and open plains teeming with animals. In the Narmada Valley, scientists discovered a 250,000-year-old skull cap, one of the most important human fossils in Asia. Nearby tools show advanced craftsmanship. These are not wandering primitives. They understand stone properties, angles, and force much like skilled artisans. But the most breathtaking sight in Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. Over 700 rock shelters containing paintings up to 30,000-year-old. Bison hunt, dancing figure, rituals, and daily life scenes. These are not random paintings. They tell stories. Imagine ancient family gathering around fire, children watching elder paints wall to preserve memories, just as we record video today. Some figures even appear in yoga-like pose, suggesting a spiritual practice far older than written history. After the last ice age peaked around 20,000 years ago, climate warmed and giant ice age animals began disappearing, and humans adapted once again. In places like Rajasthan, Bagor site, people use microliths, tiny tools for arrow, idea for hunting smaller, faster animals. They built season camp, buried their dead with objects, and traded material over long distances. Semi-precious stones found far from their sources suggest early trade networks, prehistoric version of supply chain. In Thailand's Spirit Cave, Evidence of gathered beans, nuts, and shellfish shows a shift towards more settled lifestyle, a bridge between nomadic foraging and farming. And now it's time for the most interesting part of the story, the time to uncover the myths and facts. Many people assume prehistoric innovation came mainly from Europe, but Asia tells a different story. Denisovans, for example, produced sophisticated jewelry tens of thousands of years ago. And their legacy isn't just archaeological, it's biological as well. Modern Tibetan carry Denisovan genes that help them survive at high altitude with low oxygen. In a sense, ancient encounters still shape modern lives. Another myth portrays Stone Age people as crude cave dwellers. Yet Japan's Jomon community built semi-permanent villages and even domesticated dogs. Imagine coastal settlement where families return year after year to harvest salmon run. Not unlike traditional fishing community today. In India's Bela Valley, bead made from rare stone traveled hundreds of kilometers, showing early trade network long before the Silk Road. And at Bhimbetka, some painting depict figure in poses resembling meditation or ritual dance, hinting at early form of spiritual practice. Even new discovery continues to surprise us. The Harbin cranium from China, a massive skull nicknamed Dragon Man, may represent a previously unknown human lineage, reminding us that our family tree is far more tangled than we once believed. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Asia wasn't just another stage of human history, it was a crucible. Asia wasn't just a stage of human history, it's actively shaped our biology. Here, different human species met, competed, cooperated, and interbreeded. These encounters shape genetic adaptation that still matter today. Interbreeding between different human groups produce genetic advantages, cold tolerance, disease resilience, and altitude adaptation. Technological innovation also spread from this region. Microliths tools enable more efficient hunting, supporting population growth which eventually set the stage for agriculture and civilization. These traits spread across population as humans migrated onward, even reaching Australia over 60,000 years ago via coastal route from South Asia. Social cooperation during large hunt likely strengthened communication skill, trust, and shared identity, which are the foundation of complex society. In many ways, Asia helped transform a scattered group of humans into interconnected population capable of shaping entire ecosystem and eventually civilization. And without Asia's harsh testing ground, modern humans might not have developed the resilience needed to dominate the planet. From the frozen darkness of Siberian cave to the painted rock shelter of India, the Asian Stone Age revealed a story not of primitive survival, but of extraordinary ingenuity. Our ancestors were engineers, artists, explorers, and survivors. They did not just endure the world, they adapted to it, reshaped it, and carry forward the genetic and cultural tools that still define humanity today. So the next time you breathe thin mountain air, light a fire, or hold a tool in your hand, remember, part of that story began tens of thousands of years ago, somewhere between Siberian ice and Indian monsoon. If this journey amazed you, like, subscribe, and tell me in the comment section which discovery surprised you the most. Because our past is far more stranger, far more epic than we ever imagined. So next time on History Under the Cap, we will try to uncover the story of prehistoric Australia, megafauna, and the first people. So next time, till we meet, stay curious and keep questioning history.